All right, we'll go through some quick procedures here to load ribbon and labels for a, this is a ZT411 printer from Zebra, and what we're loading are their on-metal tags. This is the micro, super tiny, and so with that, you want to match it with a ribbon size that, you know, is of a similar width, and so we're using a 5095 resin ribbon. This part number, I'll try to get up close, but you could use whatever part number you want for width. It's just that this will be a little bit cheaper, and obviously you don't need a full 4-inch wide ribbon for printing these. So let's start with loading ribbon. Here's your ribbon, supply reel. Take your ribbon, and usually, now you might want to clip this off and tape it to the bottom of the printer so that you know what size or what type of ribbon you're using, because once you start using it, it's going to get covered up and you won't know immediately what part number you're using. But in any event, the Zebra ribbons will generally go on with the stuff coming out the back side. This is the front side, this is the back side, and we're going to come around the back. We're going to raise our print head here, and we're going to go under this part, right? Just this part. So if you go all the way back here, that will go where the paper is and it won't work. So make sure that you're going just underneath this black region right here, right? Then you want to come up and around to the front. And I don't like the idea of putting tape on there because it makes it a little harder to get it off. So I make sure I take that sticky part off. Come around the front of this again. So you come around the back and you're going all the way to the front. And we're going to wrap this around itself so it cinches tight and then is able to wrap and pull itself through. Now when you get ready to take it off, because that's empty, you can just turn this knob, and then you can, these two pieces here kind of collapse, and you can just pull off this entire spent ribbon. Okay, so once you've got it to the point where it's not slipping anymore, you're good to go there, and that's all there is to ribbon. Now the next one would be putting in labels. Now some labels are going to be coming off of the bottom side. This one comes off the top side, and I'm going to try to show this here. You've got a lever here. You're going to put this all the way against this metal wall and then slide this all the way to the core. You can twist it a little bit to hold it in place, and now come down underneath this plate this time. Remember on the ribbon it was here, but we're coming underneath here with the paper. You can come in from the side, it's a little easier. And remember, your print head has to be up, otherwise it doesn't work. And you can just pull it through at this point. I did want to mention that a couple other quick adjustments that we should make note of here. I should have probably done that before I put the ribbon in. I'll turn it around so you can see it. If I raise the print head and just loosen this up a little bit, you'll be able to see that when I turn this down, you'll see I've got two plungers here in orange, and they have a series of lines on them, one here, two here. When you lift the print head, you can actually twist those to a different setting. Like this one can go to 2, right, and then to 3, all the way to 4. The higher the number of lines, the more pressure it provides in that area. Now in this case, I've got a micro label, so it's really only needs pressure on this side. So I'm going to set this one to the lowest possible setting, which is 1. And you'll see it actually stops at that location. You can't go any further. And this side, I'm just going to set it at 2. Okay? Now, if we do find that the ribbon is drifting this way, or we're getting uneven print, we can adjust these again. But for a starting point with the micro, I would start with 1 on the right-hand side and 2 on the left. Okay? Now, next thing, while we got this here, I'm going to try to lower my camera a little bit more. Maybe I'll raise this. You can see there's a little green light down there. That green light is the sensor. And we're going to move that sensor to a spot that is in line with the outside edge of this label. Why the outside edge? Well, if we take this off and we flip it upside down, you'll see that on the micro, on the left-hand side, you have this white region here. And you have some imprinting on this antenna here. I want to make sure that the sensor, the gap sensor, does not permeate this label. And so I'm going to line it up on this outside edge of this this strip of micro labels. Okay, so as you look down the middle, you want to adjust the sensor, and the sensor is a yellow colored thing right here. Oops, sorry, if I get the right one. Yeah, right here. Sorry, that one. As you slide it back and forth, you'll see as you look down the middle on the front of the label, or the printer mouth, you'll actually see that green light coming straight across to where we want it to go. Here, I'll try this one more time to see if I can tip it up and show you exactly where I left this. See that? That's where I have this set. And that's where I want this to be positioned. I'm going to lower my print head now. And on the front screen, let's turn this around so you can see it. On the front screen, it says pause. So I'm going to hit pause. And if we did it right, it should actually come out, and when we hit feed, it'll just feed one label at a time. Hit it again, just to make sure. So it looks like we've actually put the sensor in the proper position. Now there's some other calibration things we need to do, but what we've accomplished here is we've loaded the ribbon correctly, we've loaded the labels correctly, we've put the gap sensor in the proper position, and we validated that by closing the print head and hitting feed a couple times to make sure we're only getting one label at a time.